welcome to CrusaderCast, your weekly Warframe podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to CrusaderCast. I am Fairly Feral, the clan leader of Frozen Crusade, and I am joined by my officers and good friends, Okimon and Hey95. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
All right, so
What do we got this week?
out of the way, we are going to talk about Atlas Prime access and how that's coming, tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
As
probably
of
when this
recording?
gets posted, it's out like today or like it was out
Yeah.
the previous day by the time this gets posted.
Yeah. So,
Actually,
as
it
of
should be
recording,
today.
it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be. Atlas Prime should have came out today when this gets uploaded.
Woo!
The timeline is messy in this way.
Yeah, just a little bit. But Warframe did make their official post saying, "Hey, here's what's in Atlas, the Atlas Prime Access Pack and stuff." So we're gonna talk about that. It was meant briefly last week because we knew Atlas was coming out, Death Cube was gonna be coming, and Deco, I think, Prime was coming out. So now we actually have like the official Warframe pictures and everything instead of people
like,
digging
the
through the
list and
files and
everything.
finding it. So
Yeah. That's nice.
So, yeah.
And I gotta say, I am excited. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of Atlas before when I played him, but I want this Atlas Prime just because he looks amazing. And I'm
yeah,
sure I
Atlas
mentioned that
Prime
last week.
has quality fashion frame.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Anyway, so let's hop right into that.
Okay. Hopping. Right. So, as we know, Atlas
Quality.
Prime. Right. Atlas Prime comes with Techo Prime, which is basically a redo of his signature weapon when it was first released. It's a pair of hand weapons. Basically, it's a stat stick for Atlas. It makes his 1 and what is it, like his 1 and 4 better? I'm not sure.
Something like that.
Whatever his
Makes
equipment
it
allows.
better,
for
because
sure
they
his
scale off
1,
of the
yeah.
damage of his weapon, like his melee weapon.
Yeah.
And impact is usually what you want with that, I believe. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a nice weapon in combination to have with it. So
Actually, when it comes to impact damage, I like to use War with him.
yeah, another viable option. It's Jat Kitag. That's a pretty popular one too.
Oh yeah, Jet Kitty.
Yeah, the Jat Kitty.
But yeah, there's also Death Cube Prime, which is the most murderous Sentinel ever.
Yes.
And it's the first Sentinel Prime to be released since Carrier, which I think it's been like 2-3 years since Carrier
It's
came
been
out.
a
Or
long
no,
time since the last
Helios I think was the last one. Sorry, not Carrier. Carrier was the first Helios.
one. It's been a long time.
Well, there was Worm, Helios, and Carrier, and now we got Death Cube.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
it's the first Sentinel to come out, and like it's been 2 years at least since the last Sentinel to come out.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
It's been
a
a long time.
I think wasn't Helios Prime wasn't shit. Which one did he come up with? I think it was Hydroid, wasn't it?
Might have been actually.
Yeah, Helios is vaulted for sure.
Yeah, he was just vaulted recently.
Yeah, so
I've seen
it's
that. Might have been Hydroid then.
Yeah.
it might have been,
So,
or is before Hydro. Whoever was before
I think
Hydro.
before Hydroid was. I want to
Oberon.
say, yeah,
Yeah,
it was Oberon.
And before that,
So
it was
I'm thinking-
Valkyr.
I'm thinking it was Hydroid he got with. It
Yep.
doesn't matter. Point is, it's been a while. We're excited.
Yeah,
we like
yeah.
our, death-bringing cube boy.
And Death Cube also comes with the Death Machine Rifle Prime, which
Yeah.
is the main gun the Death Cube uses.
Not only
Yeah.
that, but he comes with Death Cube Prime's Assault Mode and Vaporized Precepts, which are good.
Are always nice.
Apparently, the Prime Access also comes with Atlas Prime Glyphs, so you can modify your profile image with it.
Yeah.
Atlas Prime Accessories comes with the Massif Prime Cyandana, which
Which looks incredible.
I mean,
I
it's
love it.
the typical two-tail Cyandana that we've gotten recently, it seems.
Yeah.
Plus the Orcus Prime Sentinel accessories, which gives you some wings and a face, and probably a tail for your Death Cube Prime.
Mm-hmm.
You got your typical
Yep.
90-day. Huh?
Nothing. I just you gotta pimp them out, make them look
yeah.
as cool as you do.
Right. Plus you got your typical 90-day credit and affinity boosters, and then the controversy. We've got a 7-day mod drop chance booster.
Yeah.
Let
There
me bring
was a
this
bunch
back.
of questions all over Reddit as soon as that got released, and Facebook, and apparently DE was swarmed with what is this? What's going on? What the hell? So they just cleared it up a couple hours beforehand before we started recording. But
Yeah.
yeah, they had to clear all that up.
Yeah. And I think they posted that on the forum. So
Yes. Yep.
Anybody got a copy of that up? I don't.
I do. Just give me 2 seconds. I was also posting pictures in there for you for Atlas Prime.
Oh,
mm.
yeah. I was going down the web page on the website. Bigger
and I've been
pictures.
following along here too. So.
Nice.
All right. So mod boosters and free to play. Okay, so I'm just going to go down to the cliff notes at the bottom. Okay, so basically the mod booster will be offered for the Atlas Prime access period due to how synchronized platform store releases are handled. During this time, you'll be able to acquire it through select Barrow Key tier visits or sortie rewards. The Atlas Prime access booster lasts 7 days and can only be bought once. With Barrow and sorties, a free player should be able to get equal access to that offering during the duration of Atlas Prime access. The future of the mod booster will be decided as Atlas Prime access comes to an end. And love your mistake here, Reb. You put "and" instead of "an." That's funny. Decisions related to drops and monetization of our free-to-play design aren't easy, and we have a long history of trying to find a fair balance. In this case, there is mixed reactions and fear. While the players concerned with the Warframe abilities may find this resolution a win, those who have moved the conversation to DE will balance mods around this booster. We'll have to trust that this simply won't happen. We've worked hard over 7 years to provide free content, and we will continue to do so. Basically, the mod booster will also be available free in sorties and on Barrow. Warframe loot abilities will again be able to yield multiple drops from already looted corpses. So it looks like they're reversing a change that they made back when, what was it?
Jovian Concord.
Jovian Concord, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Where you couldn't stack Korra, Hydroid,
Korra, Necros, and Hydroid.
Yeah. Let's go back to part 1 of the post, which is the mod drop chance booster. Let's get those in parts.
Okay.
Basically, the big controversy with the mod drop chance booster was that people were like, oh, so this is only going to be available in the Atlas Prime access, so basically it's kind of like a pay-to-win sort of thing. People who wanted to play the game for free without having to spend real money on plat, they were going to be out of, the chance to getting this, and DE had to clear this up, saying, no, it's going to be offered via sorties as a drop reward, and it's also going to be available via Barrow as, you can purchase it from him for free, technically, by using your credits in game and as well as your ducats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was
Which
the
is
big
good stuff.
controversy with that. I
Yeah.
mean,
The big mistake that they made was players only hearing about it in a news article. I mean, they just drop it out there without, any clarification, any context. So people's imagination
and
went
naturally, people are going to be a little freaked out. Like, wait, what?
wild. Oh yeah, they always. I mean,
They got nothing to go on, so it's just the usual reaction.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit of a dilemma on my own. If you guys want to take a look at what I'm doing, I've got a serious problem, which is I've got 2 new decorations, and I don't know where to put them. So, who wants to help me place my 2 new decorations that I probably stupidly bought from Barrow? Got the literal dodecahedron. Where do you think that should go? I got like my floof collection up here, sort of thing. I don't know if there's enough space here, but I could plunk it like anywhere. Like, where do you guys think? I got the dodecahedron.
I have no idea.
Okay, that's nice. What about you, Hey? Anything?
Put it like right in the middle of
Suggestions?
the hallway.
Like right here?
Sure.
There, done. Next one, we got like the pillar thingy. What do you think? I could probably maybe I should stack that on top of it. Let's see if I can do that. Hang on. I could put it inside it. That's a
Sure.
little odd. Done.
Perfect.
Really? We've solved the issue. That looks I don't know how to feel about that. Okay. That solves that question. Anyway, back to the important stuff. Sorry to distract you guys there. I just thought that was very, very important stuff. Who doesn't want to place decorations? Am I right? Fashion frame includes the orbiter as well.
Sure.
I feel like I can't see your screen, so I feel like you're just looking at me with just utter disappointment.
Yeah, that sums up. Yeah, that sums up our lives.
Anyway,
Yeah, back to the mod drop chance booster.
Yeah.
so yeah, I feel like Digital Extremes has run a tightrope for the past 7 years or so, trying to limit the idea that they're going pay to win with their stuff. I mean, it's one of the good things about Warframe in general is that up until now they've always been, F free to play or F pay to win. We're free to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, any money helps, but they're not an Activision or an EA trying to take every dime you got on top of a $60 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that originally got me into Warframe when I first started playing was when I played a lot of free-to-play games at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And when I found out that Warframe was not that during a time period where a lot of MMOs were, that was it was great to hear. And it's also just nice that if you want to be completely free, you can earn in-game like premium currency without having to spend a dime if you're willing to, farm.
Yeah,
And I think that's great. So, I love the fact that it's not pay to win for the most part, and I hope they can keep it that way. As it's just because I'm thinking they'll lose a good amount of fans and players alike. If they do end up going in any way pay to win, at the very least they'll lose some respect. So.
Yeah, I don't think they ever will. I mean, boosters are always going to be there. And if you wanted to grind for it, you can totally grind relic mods. Like, you can really grind anything in game and sell it. I mean, I spent a couple hours of my day grinding relics, and then I put all the worthwhile stuff up on the market, and I was making like 300 plat a day. So,
Yeah.
if you wanted to, it's totally doable. Whenever I'm low on plat, I'll start doing that again. I'll just grind relics, or if I'm going through missions where I can get a really high gold drop, well, I'll purchase a booster, because booster in the end is totally worth it because you're gonna get that plat back plus some. So it's always, it's very easy to do the free to play. And I guess what everybody's concern was with this mod booster was that they were only reading it that it was in the Atlas Prime Access. Nobody, DE never said anything saying yeah, it's going to be available at Borrow, or it's going to be available from a sortie reward table or anything. Nothing was mentioned. So
Forgot to specify how
that's what have
totally.
to make this post now specifying.
Everybody just assumed that it would be, part of the Prime Access, probably be on the market, but that was it.
Yeah, and that's just the natural thing with us gamers. We like to jump to conclusions, and it's usually
The wrong
in
one.
the scare aspect. We usually assume the worst.
Well, that just
right?
shows how jaded and, whatever that other word is, the player base is, because
Yeah.
it's always they're monetizing the game, they're making it to where you can't get any good drops unless you pay money for the boosters. Ooh.
And at the same time, that's only a part of the community. Not everybody's like that, Every community's gonna have that wherever you go.
Oh yeah,
But,
I mean, you're always gonna find the
and actually,
skeptics.
it's the whole situation of people who, call it the bad stuff are louder than those who are more chill about it. Just because people who are chill aren't gonna say anything, but people who are all
Oh,
up
yeah,
in arms about it
it's
are
the
gonna
vocal
be
minority.
vocal.
Yeah.
So
It's like
not
that
to say
one
that the
guy
entire-
who ruined the universal medallion drop for everybody.
What, just because
Yeah.
it wouldn't work in the conclave? Oh my.
Well, no,
Oh.
they originally had it so that it was going to work in the conclave. Then this guy was like, "But what about all 5 people who still play conclave? Like they went through hell to get all the stuff. Like I don't think it should be available. Like the universal medallion shouldn't be available to use in the conclave." And then they removed it because of this one guy because he got pissed off.
To be fair, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. I wouldn't have said anything, but it does kind of make sense. Like Conclave is supposed to be it's supposed to encourage you to play with other players, casually, competitively, however you want. But it's kind of stupid that you could be able to just completely forego it if you wanted. Like there's nothing stopping someone from going and just grinding an eternity for all these medallions and then just spending all of them on the conclave because he's bored and he doesn't want to do the conclave, right? So it's not entirely surprising that they
Well,
that somebody was a little upset about it.
I mean,
And there probably were more. Just
I mean, I enjoy the conclave in small doses, but I don't have the patience to go out and grind ranked matches for all this shit just to get a Bratton skin. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not worth it. That's very much that's probably going to be my end game. Like, I'll probably do that near the end of my Warframe experience just because, I don't really see any point in doing Conclave. I know eventually you'll need it for Mastery rank, but, I don't really have any.
I don't even think you need it for that.
No, not really. There aren't any conclave exclusive weapons that I'm aware of.
Nope.
Now, if they added conclave exclusive weapons, they'd give us a reason to play it.
True.
No, I mean I enjoy Conclave with with friends. If you've got friends to play with, it can be hella fun. Like it just turns into utter chaos of people running around screaming because no one knows what's going on because everybody's jumping around, right? It's just really funny to play with, especially if you got good friends who are just casual players. But I remember going with a few other people and we tried going into actual conclave matches with endos for the first time.
Oh yeah, and you just get
And
creamed.
oh yeah, you get obliterated. It was
Yep.
it was still a lot of fun, but it's not as fun just because the people who play conclave, they're on a whole different level,
Yeah, their min-max was all about it.
Guys were rank 4 running around with their Excalibur, and just going ham on you because they know how to play it, so
Mhm.
and so kudos to those people for putting your time into something that not a lot of people do, but not entirely for me.
If they're the only ones doing it, then they cornered the market.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's my issue with Conclave. While the universal medallions would be useful for Conclave, I don't think I'm necessarily going to use them. If it was still available, I don't think I necessarily use it for Conclave. I would use it for my syndicates first because it would help me rank up really quick with them. And if I wanted to sell mods, again, selling the mods for plat, it's a quick, you can help get yourself a couple of mods to sell anyway. So it wasn't necessarily top of my priority to use them for Conclave, but it would have certainly been helpful,
I don't think. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't think many people would have used them for Conclave anyway, just because most people probably wouldn't have even thought to do it. But and it's more worth your time to rank up your other syndicate standings and things like that. Your rank on Cetus, your rank on Fortuna. It's it was more worth your time to do that. But if I'm sure there probably would have been some people who did it, but I'm just thinking I personally completely forgot Conclave existed when that came out. So when people started saying, "Oh, what if making a fuss about it," I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess that could have been a possibility."
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah,
The next thing on the list that they
say,
mentioned in the update is the free pass, which we kind of talked about. But that's just the mod drop being available for free in game, because they never mentioned, like I said earlier, as far as everybody knew, the mod drop chance booster was only going to be available via Atlas, like Prime Access for Atlas Prime, and they never clarified. But yeah, it's they never mentioned that you were going to be able to get it from Borrow or from sorties and whatnot. And yeah, so people just figured it was going to be a market thing that you had to buy plat in game, or it's going to be just from Atlas Prime. So
yeah,
but it's good to know that they had every intention to incorporate it into Barrow's skill pool, I guess, and sortie drop chance as well. So that's good to know. That's a load off of a bunch of people's minds. So
yeah, exactly.
hopefully it works as well as as well as it could, and that people have interest in using it. So
I mean, I'm like, as somebody who has dabbled in the market, I don't necessarily dabble in the market like a lot, but that would be really good for doing the Eris vaults for the Hive mission, because in that mission you can get 75, like 80 to 100 plat mods from all three caches in there. Um, Taking it to Uranus Survival, you can get a condition overload. I'm trying to think what drops from Eris. But yeah, there's a couple of mod spots that I can think of that, like, that chance booster would be really good on. And if you can yeah, because like condition overload alone, I've sold for like 100 plat. I've sold for a little bit more. So like, like you could, you go to Eris, like we go to Eris all the time, or not Eris, Uranus. Like you can go to Uranus, just do a 20-minute survival, and it should drop about at 20 minutes condition overload, and you can be making like bank with condition overload. Yeah. The Eris caches though, unless you have somebody who really can do the hives and knows exactly where those cache locations are, it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but it's totally possible to do, and that mod booster would totally help with that though.
Yeah.
Provided it works in the way that I'm thinking it is, which is like, it increases your chance, like drop rate as a resource chance booster. I think they did say that it's gonna act pretty much exactly like a resource. Yeah. The mod drop chance existence matches the design of the resource drop chance booster. So
it's the same thing, but exclusively for mods.
yeah, so like I would be going to Uranus, and I'd be running survival, and I'd be trying to get condition overload, because that's about the easiest one to get, and you're getting a lot of resources as well.
And you can bet there's gonna be a lot of other players probably
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that comes out, yeah, I'll guarantee there's gonna be a lot of people doing that.
Get ready to see like the value of condition overload just plummet. Things like rare mods like that might affect the economy a little bit, but we'll see.
It's hard to say. I mean, really, like the resource chance booster, yeah, like it helped, but like condition overload's a harder mod to get anyway. So I think if you did a resource chance booster, a resource drop booster, and this mod booster, I'm sure that you probably could have a pretty okay chance of getting condition overload. I'll have to go check the drop rate on condition overload.
while she's doing that.
Okay, so condition overload. It drops from Drakkar Butchers, and it has a 0.02% chance. So, assuming everything is doubled, it would drop at about. You're probably going to get close to 1% with all the different boosters and stuff that you can possibly get, including this mod booster.
That's still a pretty
Uh,
big oof.
yeah,
Like,
it's still
that's
not a good
not great.
chance, but
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's
true. They
probably
haven't.
why they're
Yeah, they're
testing
gonna
it with
decide at
the.
the end of the Atlas Prime access.
Yeah.
So that will be about. It's about a 3 month period that
Yeah.
they.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be about December, January before it actually gets taken out. So
If they
I
decide
think
to
if I'm
take it.
ever gonna go to Uranus to do a survival, I think I'm gonna get a see if I can get a booster and put it on and see if I can try my luck.
Cool. Sounds like a plan.
And then the last thing that had to get mentioned today in the forums was the loot frames. So back in Jovian Concord, and as a pretty like I like to do the easy grind, where you take all the ideal frames and then you just sit in a corner and you just watch everybody die.
Ideal frames being Korra, Necros, and Hydroid. So.
Yeah, primarily. Yeah, I think you can also take. Ooh, you can take somebody else, but I can't think of it. Oh, you can take Speed Nova. Speed Nova helps.
Yeah.
Taking her and pressing R4, and that helps with Hydroid's ability specifically. But yeah, back in Jovian Concord, they had it so that people who took basically they had it so that if you took a Necros and a Hydroid and a Korra, and say all three of them affected one body, you can get like triple the drop rate from that one body before the Jovian Concord update.
Then they
After this
updated
update,
it
though,
and
they had
prevented you
it so
from
that
stacking.
only one of each of their abilities can affect one body.
A lot of people really like grinding in this game. Go
I
figure,
mean,
it's kind of a grindy game.
I was gonna say
So-
Warframe is very much a grindy game, though.
Exactly. That's one of the things it's known for. I remember one of the reviews I read when I was first looking at the game was like, do you want to be a space ninja? Do you want to be a space ninja farmer? If you said yes to both of these, and this is the game for you, like, because you will be doing a lot of it. So, yeah, can confirm after playing for probably over 1,700 hours now. Yeah, there is a bit of a grinding aspect to Warframe. Just a small one, I think. It's pretty safe to
Yeah.
say. So, yeah, there's that. But another
Yeah.
thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was Shazins. How do you feel about Shazins? We never touched on that last time. I want to touch on that. How do you guys like Shazins?
I quite enjoyed the Shaws, and I wish they had uploaded more songs, but I know that it's a possibility that they will later on.
Hmm.
I'm not creative in the sense that I'll come up with my own song or try and copy a song. I'm just gonna play the preset song. So I wish that they would come out with some more Shazin songs so we can play along because I pretty much mastered all 5 that are out right now.
Show off!
And I just realized I had myself muted on the recording. Whoops.
Nice.
My bad. Not the whole time, just the past 10 minutes or so.
No worries.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even think it was that long because when we were talking about like the last thing, I still heard you. That's not important.
Yeah,
Good to
you,
know that
you
you're
heard
still there.
me,
So.
but they didn't hear me because I didn't record it.
Fair enough.
Because my audio comes through a different channel than you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No worries. Yeah. What do you think of the Shaws in there, Oki? Do you enjoy using it?
Well, yeah, that was the only thing I did there for about a week.
Fair enough. That is true. You did do that a lot. I still.
Oh yeah, the Shazin was fun and all. Like it's still
is.
fun. I just wish they upload more songs.
I
Well, they
mean,
added a
technically,
new
they don't even
scale.
need to. The community jumped on that grenade, as soon as they saw it. Like, there are so many songs that people have made now that you can download. So,
Yeah, they added a new scale. I mean, it's one of those things that they're just gonna work on when they feel like it.
mm,
Hmm.
but nah,
Yeah.
I
It's a
enjoy it.
side project, not really a priority right now.
And some of the people that do it, and don't use like the mods, or I can't remember
It's a
the
script.
word eluding me. Yeah, that. There are some people who are incredible. Like one of our clanmates, is just he's really good, and he just plays it all by ear. So shout out to you. You know who you are if you're watching. Um, but yeah, it's really really cool that they added that aspect to the game. I really like it personally. Just I'm a fan of music as it is anyway, so maybe that's why. But yeah, it's so cool that you can play music now.
Right?
I like it a lot.
I mean, there for a while, the drums that you can put as decorations in the dojo, we had a whole room dedicated to those drums so that you can play them. So yeah, so now we
We
actually have
technically
like
have
a
that
little
again
music room
now.
in our dojo with the shazens and with the drums and everything else.
Yeah, and isn't there like just a big like f off sized didgeridoo in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's a thing that we have. We're gonna have to do a tour of the dojo sometime. Like maybe not right now because some of the rooms are still getting finished, but maybe when that's done, we should do a dojo tour during one of these podcasts.
Oh
Because
yeah, definitely.
that could be a fun thing to try.
Not so good for the audio people, but
Yeah,
For the
well,
visual people,
you
oh yeah,
talk over
totally.
it. So there you go. That could be a thing we're gonna try. Look forward to that, please.
Right in the comments below.
Yeah, tell us if you want to see that. So yeah, there's that.
I think that's all for recent Warframe updates as far as we know.
Hmm.
well,
That
tomorrow
happened
is
this
The
October.
past week.
boss. The fifth installment of Nightwave.
Right.
That came out.
Act 5 and Nightwave came out, right.
Yeah.
So we do have an end date for Nightwave. Nightwave will be ending October 13th. I had to check my schedule. Um Act 5 just came out this past Thursday. We got the final installment and yeah. So how did everybody like Nightwave? The whole story. We'll talk about the whole story first and then we'll get into Act 5.
Uh, I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed the story this time. I liked it quite a bit more than the wolf. Like, you're not to take away from that. The wolf was good. It was a pretty interesting story. I like hearing about other things that happen in the universe that, don't revolve around you. So it's nice to get a glimpse as to what else happens in this really incredible universe that
The
Dee's
origin
created.
system.
Yeah, the origin system, right? But yeah, so the wolf was nice. It was pretty interesting, and it was a nice kind of runner up and segue to the Jovian Concord update. But I really really enjoyed kind of this infested themed one because, as I'm sure most of you can agree, the infested uh, they needed something. They were kind of lacking in story. Most people kind of got the gist. They just seemed like, the classic sci-fi monsters disease thing that every sci-fi universe had. So they didn't feel overly different or special. With this, that kind of makes them a little more interesting, which is nice because they needed it. So they made some new, monster types, things like that, and they added kind of the idea of the cult behind it and the sort of what's the word just the ends that people would go to be cured of something as horrific as the infestation. So
Yeah.
it was a bit more grim, to say the least, but it was a good story and I liked it. So, yeah, if you get the chance and you haven't seen it, fix that. It's good.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you start at this point, I don't think you'll be able to make it to rank 30.
No, there's only a couple of
Probably
weeks left.
not.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, even if you do the nodes and get the extra 1,000 or whatever, like, you'd have to catch up on weeks and weeks. I mean, with the catch up, it makes it a little bit easier to catch up, so maybe it's possible if you're, like,
Really
like,
on
right
it
on
and
the
you don't
task,
sleep
but
for like the next ever until it's
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it was when during Night Wave 1, I ended up
Oh.
not being able to get the wolf armor just by like 1 or 2 ranks. Which really
Yeah,
pissed
same
me off.
here. I was missing it by 4.
And I got it, but the burnout was so bad it didn't even feel worth it. Like,
Yeah. I
that-
mean,
Don't complain
that
about getting your
sucked.
wolf armor, man. Come on.
I'm not complaining. I love the stuff. It's great. I'm glad that I got it. It's just the burnout that came after that was that
Uh,
was a pretty rough one. I didn't play for a few months.
Well, that's the problem. Anything that makes you have to log in daily just to do certain things,
yeah.
it inevitably leads to burnout.
Yeah. It starts to feel like a chore.
Exactly.
So-
I mean, you play the game because you want to, not because something tells you you have to.
Yeah. And that's something we
yeah.
should talk about. Do we like now that this one's over? How do we feel about it? Like, do you think it was an improvement, like actual gameplay wise?
I think it was for sure an improvement. I mean, I actually got to rank 30 for this one. With the last
Same.
one, I had a burnout
Mm.
quicker than I was able to get to rank 30. And like, if you miss some task, well,
That could
sucks
be
to
the end of
suck. You missed it, and then you
Uh-huh.
have to have a week of catch up. And like, yeah, like if you fell behind, like you were pretty much like
That was it.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this one, I did like the catch up aspect. I like the um, not as many tasks, but they're all worth a little bit more. Like points, like experience points or whatever with Nora. The changes that they made were great. Once I got to rank 30, I still kind of felt a burnout. I haven't really been on Warframe for like a solid, I don't know, week since I finished rank 30 and a little bit after. Like, I had a burnout pretty soon after I hit rank 30. So I think that burnout aspect is still
It's
there,
still
but it's not as
severe.
bad as it was before, but you still get a burnout just because, like Oki was saying, it's just like, you have to log in every single week. You have to do the task. At least this time, if you fall behind, you can catch up pretty easily. But like, you had to log in daily to finish those tasks, and if you didn't finish those tasks, well, you were behind. Then there was the
you didn't
catch
get
up
a catch
aspect,
up on the
and
daily objectives, just the weekly ones. Now,
Yeah.
originally I thought that we were going to add them to the weekly or daily ones too, and that's what I was excited about because if nothing else, I tend to miss the daily ones.
Dailies. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that was the same with me too. And I gotta say, I actually liked this one more, the gameplay as well. And I think, I honestly think they probably have done it. They did it a lot better this time. And, well, it is probably gonna need a few changes here and there. I think they've done a pretty good job with it because, yeah, the burnout's still kind of there, but at the same time, I believe I speak for all of us when I say that most of us were pretty, intense about getting the rank ups and doing every little thing. And I think we all made it to rank 30 pretty darn quick. Like
Yeah,
before, I think I made it to rank 30 before even maybe even before the
It
third
was like
chapter was released.
4 or 5 weeks in. We all
Yeah,
got to rank
like-
30.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah, if you did everything right from the date that they released it or whatever, I think it was like mid or end of August that you got everything done, and you and I got done within a week from each other because
Yeah.
I fell behind on a week. But
But basically,
Yeah, we
like,
all got done
on-
around the same time.
yeah. What I'm saying with
Yeah.
that is, now that we know how long this one dragged out, we probably could have been afforded to be a fair bit more lazy about it because we made it pretty quick, and the burnout did kick in. But that's probably just because we binged it as soon as we got the chance, because we were kind of all nervous about like, oh God, how much work is it going to be? What are the changes they're doing? But now that we know what they've done and how long it lasted, we've got a bit more of an idea as to how, to be frank, how lazy you can be and how many of these things you need to do or don't need to do. So next time, with that in mind, we can probably afford to go a few weeks without having to worry about it too much, and that might reduce the burnout.
Yeah,
We can
easily,
still
and
afford to be a bit more casual.
yeah, like we probably brought our burnout on ourselves
We
because we
might
wanted to
have
get it
done a
done
bit.
so quickly. Yeah,
Yeah.
but for sure the changes that they made to Nightwave are like, I approve. DE has my stamp of approval for the new changes for Nightwave, and I think they should keep it that way, or maybe a couple modifications here and there with some other people's complaints. But otherwise, I think the new Nightwave system and everything is great, and the story for this series was really well done. It gave more character, and it gave more more background and more story to the infested, when like you were saying fairly for it, just we didn't really get anything. Like, we got the gist of what the infested were, and then that was kind of it. There was nothing new with them, and this kind of gave a new um new part of the story for the infested. And we also got infested dojo decorations out of it. We got new infested weapons out of it. So I think this was a good story. I think this was a lot better than the wolf.
Oh yeah, and as soon as the little fucking mission spawn started popping up, I said, "Hey, those are going to be enemies one day. Just wait and see."
Yeah, you called it from the start.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I knew it too. I was kind of looking at them, and as soon as I was like, "This is infested related." There's no way these guys that are helping us, right now, these guys are absolutely going to turn on us later.
Now I'm just waiting to
He's
see.
not going to do that to us. They're not going to hit us with, "Oh yeah, these guys are just going to be nice and heal you every time. That's fine. Don't got to worry about it.
Now I'm
Don't
just waiting
worry
to see
about it."
what they shot
Yeah,
us up
called
with
it.
and what it ends up doing to us.
Yeah. But
True.
I just have some concerns here and there, like some of the new available things that you got to do are even though they're the elite ones, some of them seem a little kind of ridiculous. Like taking out Profit Taker was a bit of a shocker to see, just because if
Well,
you even want to do it, you
thing-
have to be max rank with the the guys on Fortuna with the SU, and that can take a lot of time and a lot of work, and if you're a noob, then you just simply don't have a chance.
Basically, unless you're MR20 or up, it's gonna take you forever to get your rank up, like you're standing up with them,
Just because
because
the
you're
daily
getting
restrictions.
20k less a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well,
it takes a while.
that's
Yeah,
leading
so-
back to what the skeptics would call the time gating of the pay to win. But thankfully, there's no way to pay money and get that going faster.
Yeah.
It's just, nature of the beast there.
Yeah. I mean,
And
but,
if you skipped it 1 week, it was pretty easy to catch up. If you missed
Next
out on
week.
7,000 standing with Nora, well, you could catch up the following week.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I wasn't
your
talking about
daily-
Nora. I was just talking about getting your
In
Fortuna
general.
rank up.
But and I guess it's kind of one of those issues where, since we did pretty much everything for every week until we got to rank 30, this is one of those situations where we could have easily afforded to just forego that particular job altogether and just done the ones we wanted, and we probably still could have made it to rank 30 and be breathing easy for the rest of the week or rest of the event, because you didn't need to do that at all, considering the amount of time that they gave you. So,
Yeah, they DE is pretty standard with, they give you 3 to 4 months to do everything.
yeah,
Or their Prime Access lasts about 3 to 4 months. Their Prime Vault
No,
lasts
it's
3 to
always
4
3
months. Everything lasts 3 to
Yeah.
4 months, and they're pretty good with keeping consistent with that everything lasts 3 to 4 months.
yeah. But No, I think that one was my biggest concern, just because it definitely seemed to make it a little more challenging for newer players to even have a shot at it. And maybe that's not what they're entirely focused on, because like I said, it is an elite challenge, so that's more tailored for the higher
What do you
level
mean
players,
newer
like the
players?
intermediate
I
to
skipped it twice.
players. Yeah, I mean, we all did it, but at the same time, we've been playing the game for a while, so
Ah,
you know.
well,
But
that one time, I think it showed up, 2, 3 times. Kill Prophet Taker. I only kill him once. So I skipped the first 1 or 2 times it popped up. And I was like, screw this, I ain't doing it.
yeah.
I did it the first time it popped up, and I didn't do it after that because I was like, I really don't need to do this.
Now, to be fair, if they switched it to someone like Exploiter, which is
Why don't they give you...
sort of easier to get, but like I understand why they can't do it, considering you need Thermia. Thermia is an event, and if you haven't done the event, you don't have the Thermia, so it's. But
What if they just
like
give
the
you...
fight itself, you
like,
don't need. Oh,
make you
never
use, make you go through some older content? Why don't they give you, like,
yeah.
Alad or Infested Alad or the J3 Golem or something?
And I think the reason
Yeah,
they can't do
kill
that.
this boss 3 times or something. Like that would be a really decent replacement for Prophet Taker.
It wouldn't though. Reason being, because if you're still a new player, you don't have access to those planets. So the reason they're dumping it on
Well, then
Fortuna and Cetus is
gives you something.
in theory, you have access to.
But it gives
those
you something
spots.
that's not too far unattainable. I mean, it's not that hard to go through the star chart, especially if you have impetus to do it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
At least you don't have to grind something that's time gated in order to access the boss.
Yeah,
Well,
it's true.
that and like if you were starting from scratch with your standing at Fortuna, you can't do it that week. Plain and simply, you cannot do the Prophet Taker mission that week.
But
Like,
that's at the same time, as I said, that's not necessarily a big problem anymore because of the amount of time they give you to do the event. You can still probably make it to rank 30, without having to do the Profit Taker mission, as long as you're persistent with the other jobs. I mean, a newer player is still going to have a harder time because they're a newer player and they can't do some of these other things. They can't do sorties, probably.
they can try.
They can try, but things like that. So like, it's not. It's there's still more potential for them to do other of the elite options, so and still get a good ways, and even just the regular options after a while, I'm sure all those will add up to enough to get you to rank 30. If you just do those in the dailies, then you'll probably still get to rank 30. You might not even have to touch an elite one, and some of them you can just do over the course of time anyway, when it's like kill 1,500 enemies. That's not hard. Just jump into an infestation survival, and run around with something like a flamethrower, and you've got it. Just stay as long as you need to, or as long as you're comfortable, go right back. So there are solutions and there are options to make it easier for newer players. It's
Yeah, I
just something
think
like that is more tuned for higher level people.
yeah, I think what kind of made me mad the most was that they took out the Zaw one because it was too difficult for
Mm.
lower MR players to do.
That made me a
But they
little
left
upset.
the 3 Forma one.
Yeah, why would
They
you
they
do
left
that?
like do sorties, which is, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you're MR10 or less, you really shouldn't be doing sorties. They left Profit Taker in, and again, like as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're MR10 or below, like you really shouldn't be doing that. Like they left in a lot more difficult stuff than doing a Zaw or a kick gun. So like that just kind of peeved me off.
Doing the Zaws was easy. I mean, I
Yeah,
found it
and even
easy.
for a
It's
lower
just getting the
MR, it would be really
resources
easy too to do, as long
because
as
you
they
can get
got their
that
standing
standing.
up. But
Yeah.
like most Zaw pieces are worth no more than 5,000 standing. So like a lower MR can
Well, at
get
least
that
the
in a
lower tier
day.
ones. So, because some of the better ones are, worth a bit more. But for the most part, the ones that you need, or like the variations you need, you could get those, like you said, with some, relative ease. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, if you did one bounty on Cetus, and you would have been able to do a Zaw. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
or
then
like at
ranking
least
it
one
up.
decent bounty. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple like depends on what you're doing, but point still stands. You only have to do a couple of bounties. You get a Zaw, and then you just rank it up by going to a survival for 20 minutes, and
No,
then
you
you
don't
have the
even need to.
majority of the weapon ranked up. Like,
I don't even think they asked you to rank it up. I think it was just make one.
Well, no, you had to guild it, which means you had to get
make
to
it
rank
a
30.
That's
guild
true.
it,
They did
yeah.
have the Gildazaw.
Yeah.
So, and
But that
yeah,
was still easy to do. Like,
yeah, that was easy enough to do if you had access to a mission node that that's known for having plenty of people to rank it up. So, Hydron's
Hydron.
usually one. The other one was on Saturn. I think it's Helene. The defense on Saturn was the other option that a lot of people do, and that's the one.
Ceres, Sesame.
Yeah, like Samony or whatever it was.
Yeah, Samony. I don't know how to say
But
it.
like, point is, like,
Simony.
people just go to those because they, if you can't get the Hydron, which is the one that everybody knows, just go to the ones that are the tier below. So and that's fine. So
Well,
yeah,
exactly. Like I think what peeved me off was their reason for taking out the Zaws, but then they still left more difficult missions in, like Prophet Taker, Sorties, 3 Forma, which might not necessarily be easy for a lower MR to get. So,
yeah,
or if they don't have good warframes or good mods or whatever, they might not know how to Forma. They might not know why Formas are good. Like, it was just, yeah, they left in some missions that just don't make any sense for the reason why they took out the Zaw. Like, if they took out the Zaw, they should have took out a couple of other missions, but they didn't. They left them in. So,
but like then they're only human. They make mistakes. They might bring it back if people decide that they want it. But and like you can be rest assured that they are going to be taking things out and adding things in as these things go, because it's in their best interest to keep people interested and also do the things that the community want, as kind of as good or as bad as they may be, unfortunately. But you know things like the Zaw gilding might come back if enough people want it back. I honestly haven't heard many other people aside from us talk about it, but I'm also relatively antisocial, so my opinion is pretty questionable with that. But there's a few things here and there, like the Prophet Taker, like we discussed, seemed a little bit of a stretch, but yeah.
and they also did
Formas...
Tridolons as well. You had to do a Tridolon, and Tridolons, like,
I've never even done a Tridolon.
Yeah, that was
I've done it a couple of times with help from like some other high MR people, and I'm like, I'm MR 20. Well, I'm officially qualified for my MR 21 rank up.
Hothead. Stop gloating.
Well, I'm MR 23.
Yeah, MR 23.
But like,
we are the
worst
kind of people.
But yeah, they kept I remember Tridolon coming up a couple of times in the Nightwave, and it's like, again, why would you just take out the Zaws when you're just gonna keep like the more difficult stuff in? But that's up to DE. My personal opinion is that they should put the Zaws back in and maybe consider removing Prophet Taker, switching it out, or some of the other ones. Like, I get it, you have to keep your high MR people satisfied, but some of your high MR people can't do Prophet Taker, can't do Tridolons yet, or don't want to do that, So you're taking away from not only lower MR players, but you're also taking away from your medium and high rank MRs.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, I think I'm like the same with most of us here. I don't think any of us had done Tridolon before when they offered that. I mean, the only reason I hadn't done it, I guess, is because I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of Eidolon hunting. That's no fault of the game type by any means. It's a fun game type. It just doesn't really appeal to me as much. And partially for that is because whenever I ran it, it would always seem we would run into connection issues. But that could be on my end. So
I'm being attacked by the flies.
Yeah, but when they released that, at that point in time, I had not done a Tridolon. Actually, now that I think about it, to be honest, I still haven't completed one, because when that came out, I was running it, I think, with you guys, and maybe not all of you guys, but I was running it with some people, and yeah, the same thing happened. One of our randos disconnected, and so we got stuck with the three of us. And as soon as that fourth guy left, the other rando left, and so it was me and someone else in there, like on the last guy, just unable to do anything. So it just kind of sucks. Now, to be fair, we hadn't prepped our party. It was just some randos. We hadn't, organized a team or anything. So that's probably got a hand in it. But it doesn't make it any better.
I'm sure if we tried it now, we could probably get to the second Eidolon. I don't think we would get up to the third one. And even with the third one, there's a MR27 in our clan who I go Tridolon hunting with because he knows how to do it. He's been teaching me the roles and stuff. But yeah, even on the third one, like we have issues with it, and like it's the third one's just a pain in the butt. But I think if we tried it again,
right now, I'm sure if the three of us went now and actually assigned roles to each other, and went with some other person, actually, you want to have 4 people. I'm sure we could get to the third guy. Will we beat him? That's up for debate. But we could definitely get. It's not that hard. I think the biggest issue with Tridolon hunting is the time. You can do it.
Yeah, you got 50 minutes to do it.
Yeah, so it's like with our level of experience and our equipment, we could get to them. Our biggest danger would be time. So, and that's just a matter of skill, because some of us have done it a lot, some of us haven't done it as much. That's just the way it is. So,
yeah.
Okay, so to completely change the subject, I have a question.
What's that?
Do you guys think that Empyrean will ship this month?
In October?
No.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
As much as
I think if it's going to be October, if it's not October, it's November. But it's going to ship in the next 2 months for sure.
What makes you so confident?
Because they're ending. Beforehand, they ended Nightwave right before the Jovian Concord update, which makes me think that they're going to end Nightwave right before the Empyrean update.
That might be the new war update.
New War isn't supposed to be coming out until Christmas.
Fair enough. But
I don't know.
The same, like, what kind of makes me think it's not coming out just yet is because, well, I'll get to that. But, like, I'm thinking maybe not, because New War they've been working on for a while, and if I had to guess, Empyrean is a lot more involved than New War. So
No, but they've been working on it for years. It'll be okay.
They've been working on it a while, but like, there's still a lot of stuff they have to do with. So I'd say,
I don't know. I mean,
great as it would be to come out right now, I don't think it's gonna happen just yet.
Okay, negative Nelly, but no. Like I said, they've been working on it for years, and the most recent trailer that they put out, the Japan Con, whatever it was called, where they showed Atlas. I mean, it looks like it's good. It looks done. It looks like it's ready to go.
And I guess, like, to be fair, they did say they're not releasing all of it at once.
No,
and
they're going to start with Grenier.
Yeah, they're starting with Grenier, and they'll slowly work up towards.
They'll fix all the bugs with Grenier, and then work on Corpus and everything else. But yeah, New War wasn't supposed to drop. It plain and simply is not going to drop until Christmas. That's the release date that they gave us. They're probably still working on it.
Oh yeah, they're definitely still working.
I don't think New War is gonna come out until Christmas, as they said. And if it gets if it gets pushed back a couple of weeks, it probably won't be until January. Imperium is their biggest update this year. Their biggest updates always release in October or November. So I am pretty confident they're gonna release it in the next 2 months.
I mean, I'm not complaining. If they do it, hallelujah, that'd be great.
And they have to do something.
They do.
Well, I mean, they have to do something to compete with Shadowkeep.
They
Destiny 2.
Yep.
I mean, Destiny 2 is their biggest competition now, because they're going free to play.
Yeah, they kind of need to at this point. Not taking anything away from Destiny 2. Still a fun game, but You know, I'm a
Mhm.
Warframe fanboy.
It's all about remaining
Sorry.
competitive.
Like, but no, if they can come out with Empyrean, that would be great. We need to do the Pirate Squadron. You know,
All 4 Hydroids.
all 4 Hydroids.
Let's go.
Yeah. We need to
But
think.
just,
did we decide on a name for a ship or ships? I guess.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, I'm gonna call mine the Derriere.
As you do.
I mentioned that before.
Like, I'm probably gonna do something stupid, like call it meme or something.
I'm gonna call
stupid
mine No You or something.
Just call it the
the
meme boat.
SS No You.
Meme boat. Meme ship.
Mm,
The meme ship has sailed.
There you go.
yeah, just. I have a strange feeling that my name is not gonna be serious in any way, and the color scheme's probably gonna be atrocious, but that remains to be seen.
And guaranteed, whenever Empyrean comes out, you can guarantee we're probably gonna do a live.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do a live stream of that. So
Yeah.
that'll be a thing when that happens. It'll be
Yeah.
Pirate Squad, so prepare for, us talking in pirate voices.
Yar.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. But given DE's previous history with Cetus, Fortuna, and now Empyrean,
Large updates.
yeah,
yeah.
all their biggest updates of the year have always been October and November, because October and November is the time to compete with all the other free-to-play games.
And, not only
And
that,
also
but,
it's
like,
right
late year
around.
releases too.
Yeah.
Yep. There's big competition this year
Like,
too, so
isn't
they have
like
to.
Cyberpunk coming out in a month or two?
Yeah, something
Yep.
like that.
So, yeah,
Yep.
so they got to do something to remain relevant.
Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly. But yep, I'm pretty confident that it will come out this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Off the topic of Warframe here, who is excited for Cyberpunk? Because I know I am. Cyberpunk does look pretty good.
I won't be able to run it on my computer, but that's another subject.
I can't afford it. That's why I play free to play.
Who says I can afford it? I just want it. It doesn't
True.
matter. Do you want it?
True.
Yeah. Anyway, back on Warframe.
We have hit past an hour.
Yeah, I was
just
about to
enough
say.
Yeah.
Probably a good
Yeah.
place to cut her off.
All right. I guess
This
we
is where
can-
we're at right now.
Shiny.
Shiny.
So I guess that's where we can end it for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We hope to see you next time on the Crusader Cast. Once again, I'm Fairly Feral. My officers are Okimon and Hey895.
Correction, it's
Clem.
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 So, yeah, we'll see you all next time. Thank you very much. Have a good one.